So the second of the elements, the first is recognizing suffering. The second of the elements is getting in touch with our aspiration. What is it that we really care about? Cutting through the assumed goals of our day and really getting it that the freedom and the peace and the love that our hearts long for, that's what we want to pay attention to. And the sign of coming home to a true aspiration is a quality of sincerity. For me, that's the best word. When I feel sincere, there's not a been there, done that. There's not like it's prepackaged. There's a kind of tenderness, a sincerity, and it's very embodied when we're in touch with aspiration. It's like our hearts are glowing with it. It gives us the energy to devote ourselves. That's the second quality that frees us. Recognizing suffering, waking up this longing. So, in the Buddha's life, what happened is he had that longing and he wanted to discover that timeless presence. So what did he do? He sat down under the Bodhi tree. Okay? And that's what we do when we pause to meditate. Every time we pause and say, I really want to reconnect, I want to come home to this heart, this moment, this being, we're pausing. We're discontinuing the doings that really fuel the persona and the trance. And we're saying, out of that longing, please, I really want to come home. He paused. The whole meaning of the Bodhi tree to me, when I see the Bodhi tree, sacred pause. So this is Martha Postlewaite. Do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life. Create a clearing in the dense forest of your life and wait there patiently until the song that is your life falls into your own cupped hands and you recognize and greet it. Only then will you know how to give yourself to this world so worthy of rescue. Do not try to save the world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life. So our four elements. The first, recognize the suffering of trance. The second, really open to that longing for freedom. The third, pause. We need to pause. By the way, these are not four that you do the four and then it's like, okay, done, free. This is like over and over and over again. Okay, I think you knew that though. Okay. All right, so we've paused, and then the fourth is in that pause, we bring the two wings of presence. We bring that attention right here. The two wings being recognizing what's happening in the moment, mindfulness. This is truth. What's here? And the other wing is holding it with compassion. So we pause and we bring that clear and kind attention right to this moment. And so this is what the Buddha did in the myth, that through the night under the Bodhi tree, he sat as Mara. Mara is the shadow god, who brought all the energies of greed and hatred and illusion and jealousy and all the stuff that keeps us caught up in trance when we get possessed by it. Well, Mara appeared, as Mara appears all the time, and threw all this stuff at him, in arrows and slings and so on. And the Buddha met with presence these attacks, and as the myth goes, brought the wings of mindfulness and compassion, and each one turned to a flower petal till by morning he had a heap of flower petals in front of him. And in this way, by sitting through the night, by encountering whatever arises with mindfulness and compassion, and by looking deeply into his own awareness, that inquiry, who's here? What's aware? What really is this? he came home to the realization of his own radiant awareness. This is source. This is truth. And that's when we are having that realization that more than any story we're living in about ourselves, this awake openness, this tenderness, this presence is more what we are than any of those ideas, any of the personas that come forth. This is what's changeless. So the Buddha found that. He had that realization. I was under the Bodhi tree. But that's not the end of the story. He then spent the next 48 years of his life bringing that realization of his true refuge into action, into an engagement with the world. He lived it. He lived from it. And how did he do it? Serving, loving, teaching, holding with compassion this world. Now, one of my favorite parts of the myth, and then I'm going to come back to us, is that throughout his career of what you might call embodied realization, where he was awake, he was realizing the essence of what he was, and its expression was love, was engaged service and compassion. Through those 48 years, Mara kept coming back. And that's probably the single most reassuring thing we could hear. That here the Buddha was. He had woken up. That's the idea, is realization. And Mara kept appearing. Mara keeps appearing. Those energies are deeply conditioned. They keep arising. The Buddha's response, when Mara would appear, let's say at a gathering, the Buddha's loyal attendant Ananda would see him and go, "Oh my God, the evil one is here," kind of like that. And the Buddha would say, no, it's okay. And he'd directly to Mara, he'd say, "I see you, Mara. Come in, let's have some tea." What a beautiful way to context the ongoing encounter we have with difficult stuff. I see you.